I could just remember the Saturdays coming round. I can just visualise as a 6-year-old the car horns going off when the goal was kicked. I can hear the crowd cheering. I can see the players, and it's just the first vivid memory I have of a live football game right across the road. As a little kid, I used to travel over and have a look at what was going on. It was such an exciting thing to be involved with. Just arriving at the ground and just seeing the cars circling the ground, little kids out there kicking the footy, and it was country footy at its best.
The ground runs uphill or downhill, depending on which end. From the highway down to the grandstand, it's downhill.
Like the oval was full of cars, and you would sit in your car and you'd watch the footy game. You'd sit in the stand and you'd hear the feet stomp, and it was a really a firm commitment every Saturday to go, and always aspire to play yourself.
Everyone moving to town, everyone turned up on a Saturday. Brought their children along. The whole generations went through. The kids did the boundary, the goal, the scoreboard. Mothers worked in the kiosks. The fathers played football or did the goal umpiring. It's just a social event, and everyone came. It doesn't matter where you was in the town. They all came along to the football, and afterwards had a few drinks and then went to the hotel.
Both sides, it didn't matter who you played, all gathered after the game, and it was so family orientated. There were kids from newborn babies in prams right through to grown up kids, all there just enjoying themselves.
One of the prettiest grounds in Tasmania. You see the old grandstand there, you can see it clearly from the highway, and it just epitomises what a country ground's all about. It's got the backdrop there of the hills and the Midlands of Tasmania, and that beautiful landscape there of Kempton itself, which is a very historic town.
Kempton's a nice quiet little place since the road bypassed. No traffic or anything like that. Everyone knows one another, everyone's friendly. Most of them anyway. But no, it's quite a nice little town.
We've got a hotel and a school, what we hope to keep the school going. But it has its ups and downs, people come and go and the school numbers drop and then they build again. But other than that, it's safe and it's a good place to raise children.
Seems to be a family town. Once people come to the town, they seem to stay. They don't like to move on. So it just seems to be a friendly town.
When I first moved to Kempton, if you ever got into trouble, there'd be about 20 or 30 people on your doorstep trying to give you a hand to do something. You were sick, couldn't get to work, everybody would help you. And that really, I really liked it coming from town to the country area and seeing that happen.
And it's a strong rural, close-knit community. It's interesting when you come back to a town after you've gone away, because I can remember and I would be able to name all the houses and who lived in them and all the families, that would have been living there in the 1960s and 1950s when I was a little boy, and the same families are still there. It hasn't changed enormously. There's some really strong families in Kempton that have been the mainstay of the community over the years, the Whalens, the Langs, the Lucks, the Higginses. There are groups of people here that have always been here.
My family has been in Kempton since 1810, and I'm a sixth generation Kemptonian. And we have a son, and I have a son and grandson, and they are 7th and 8th generation.
But there was a Guernsey brought out, that Guernsey that raced up in the front. That there's a photo somewhere to indicate that it was very early in the last century that the club was formed.
I think it's somewhere in my mind it's 1908. The club was the first started. So, you're looking at a club over 100 years old.
A football team or a sporting team will always bring a sense of community because they probably isolate on their farms, they probably don't see each other that much, but